Okay, folks, I think we're ready to get going here. Welcome to the McQuaid Jesuit Christmas Cook-Along. And before I introduce my partner here, I just want to set the record straight. I'm Tim Nally. I'm a member of the Advancement Department at McQuaid, at least for 20 more days. After that, nope. But I just want to set it straight. McLaren and Whiting put together the announcement saying that I would be a special guest baker. And those of you who know me know I don't know how to do anything in the kitchen. So I'd like you to just recognize the fact that Father Roselli is the content for this thing. I'm simply the eye candy. So I'd like you to think about it. I'm Vanna White. He's Pat Sajak. So that's the way we're going to handle these things. And again, appreciate you joining. It's my pleasure to introduce Father Marc Roselli. Father Marc joined the Jesuit community this year. Brooklyn-born, Jesuit educated. That's not a shocker. He's taught at many of our schools, Canisius, Xavier, Regis. He's had a couple stints in Nigeria. He's a very talented guy. He's multilingual. So the provincial asked him to come here to Rochester to join the community to do some parish ministry at Mount Carmel, which is Spanish-speaking parish. He also does Mass for some of the migrant workers. We're also using him in the middle school. He teaches pre-language, taking advantage of his language skills. And he's also a member of the mission and ministry department for the middle schools. He enjoys cooking, obviously baking, reading, and classical music and opera. So a very talented guy. We're very fortunate to have him at McQuaid and very fortunate to have him here tonight. So with that, I will introduce Father Marc Roselli, S.J.
Thank you, Tim, and welcome everyone who's viewing from home. You know, when the holidays come around, we always do baking. And if you're like me, we often think of our aunts, our mothers, our grandmothers, and the cookies they used to make. So this recipe is called Dream Cookies. This is a cookie my mother made every year, and we look forward to it. It's a simple recipe. It's basically butter, cream cheese, confectionery sugar, almond extract, and flour. Very simple ingredients that we have in the house. And it's also not, doesn't take a lot of time. It's only 20 minutes baking at a 300 oven. And well, depending if you have a helper or not, the prep time can be as short as 20, 25 minutes, or maybe about 40. So let's begin. People who know me know that they see me cooking. You'll never see the counter look this organized at the beginning. But we did this to save time. So here's how we start. The oven is set at 300 degrees, so we're already there. And our first ingredients are 1 stick of butter, unsalted, and I like to cut it into 8 slices so that it blends more easily. So in that goes. I'll pass this off to Tim. And then the second ingredient is 4 ounces of cream cheese, which is half of the brick package. And you see that's been pre-measured out as well. Okay, thank you, Tim. Now to that, I have pre-measured 1 cup of confectioner's sugar. So that goes in next. And we're using a KitchenAid mix master, which is very convenient, does a great job. So you just secure that in, turn it. We have a special cookie mixing butter. And we're just going to be very careful because that powdered sugar, well, this is excellent. That's a very good low speed. It doesn't get the powdered sugar all over the place. Mix this on medium speed until it is creamy. I think the recipe has been presented to you. So depending on the speed of your mixer, if you have a handheld or a KitchenAid, it'll take maybe about 3 minutes at the most to do this. I also like to alternate it on the higher speed and lower just to really get it mixed well. Okay, doing a great job. Now you add 1 teaspoon of almond extract. And pure almond extract, and it does make a difference. And actually, I like to put a little bit more, maybe like a teaspoon and a half. Okay, thank you, Tim. This is really nice because we get the counter. We get the counter cleared off as we're moving along, so that's a good feature. Okay, stop your mixer for a moment just to see how well it is. And as you know, with most recipes, to scrape the batter down.
And guys and gals, if you're on and you have any questions, you can go on Zoom in the bottom there where it says chat. Just type in your question. We'll get it over here and we'll pass it to Father Marc. So don't be bashful.
Okay, so maybe just a minute more, and we'll be ready to go on to the next step. The great thing about this cookie is that it has a jam filling. And as you see, I have 9 different flavors of jam. So you can make it according to what the members of your family like, or if you're bringing these to a friend as a gift, you know they like a particular flavor. So we have blackberry, blueberry, raspberry, strawberry, and cherry. And then we have fig, peach, apricot, and orange.
Father Roselli,
Yes.
could you please repeat the first 3 ingredients?
The first 3 ingredients are 1 stick of softened, unsalted butter, 4 ounces of cream cheese, and 1 cup of confectioner's sugar. Once you have those mixed together, then you add a teaspoon or a little bit more of pure almond extract. Okay? And that's what we've done. And we're all set here. We can now move to the second part. Now I'm going to ask for Tim's help here. We've already pre-measured out 2 cups of all-purpose flour, whatever flour you like to use. You add to that 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Now I have to stress it is baking powder. If you accidentally, Tim's going to put it in there. The pressure is intense. And you can put that away. And if you would kindly stir these 2.
All the skilled stuff I do.
I'll do that.
Nah, I just lost it.
Okay. So you remember baking powder, because if you use baking soda, it will ruin the cookie.
Father Roselli, if you could just tell us how much baking powder again, please?
1 teaspoon. 1 teaspoon of baking powder, which is standard in most recipes. 1 teaspoon. And again, 2 cups of flour. Now what we do here is we have to gradually mix flour and baking powder into the mixture in the bowl. So we're going to start it up again. And then I'll ladle it in. And you can, I don't know, count to 3 or 5 after each spoonful.
All right, Nally, we have a question for you.
Oh.
Mr. Toma would like to know, when does wine come into play for you?
About 5 o'clock this afternoon. I'm going this way. At 5 o'clock this afternoon, we pre-game, so we're ready to go. And look at, while Father's doing that, let me make a plug for Dash 21. It's on March 20th of next year. The Cairns, Smiths, and Doors have graciously accepted the chair, and they're doing an awesome job. Our first event is going on right now. It's a wine auction. It ends tonight at midnight. So we've raised, almost $6,000, I think. There's a lot of great wine packages in there. So if you want to multitask, please log in and make your bid on the wine.
About what I'm doing here, this is a great machine because it not only has fixed positions and speeds, but I can also get a speed in between each interval, which is a great feature.
And you Slow McQueen guys, you can get that for your wife for Christmas. She'll make some points.
Yeah, this is going like a dream.
That's because of your expert help.
Yes, of course. That's right. So Tim's really going to come in as a partner once we start to shape the cookies and get them ready for the oven. Speaking of. So again, I'm putting in 2 cups of flour into which I have mixed 1 teaspoon of baking powder. 1 teaspoon of baking powder. When the dough is ready, if you guys can remember back to your childhood, playing with clay or Play-Doh, this will have the consistency and the feel of Play-Doh. So that's what you have to make sure you end up with. Thank you, Tim. It helps to put the machine on the highest speed so it really integrates the dough and softens it. Okay? What we're going to do is we're going to shape the dough into 1-inch balls and then use a half a teaspoon size teaspoon to make the depression. So you shape the ball, make the depression, you do another ball, because when the air hits the dough, it starts to get brittle and make cracks, so you don't want that. Okay, let's take a look and see how we're doing here. Okay, perfect. Okay, we're all set to go, Tim.
The pressure.
So, of course, before the show, Tim and I washed our hands thoroughly. We sang happy birthday twice.
Right?
We're ready to go. We're going to take our 2 cookie sheets, which are pre-lined with parchment paper. We're going to put the bowl in the middle. Tim's going to watch me because he's new at this.
Training.
He's in training. And it feels very much like Play-Doh. So you pull off a piece like this, Tim, okay? The audience can see that. And you just start, and the warmth of your hand is important to soften the dough a little bit further. And once you get a nice round shape, you take your 1/2 inch, too big. No, you can make it a little bit smaller. Pinch off some and, yeah, and redo it. And then you see what I'm doing here, Tim? Take the ball, put it down, and then you depress the bowl of the spoon right into the cookie dough. And then you go on to the next one. Okay? So as I say, it's a very simple recipe, and you can tailor-make these cookies, custom make them to the kind of jam that you know people like. You know, now I like putting fig jam in my cookie as well. I like strawberry, blueberry, the standards, but in the original recipe, fig is not one of the fillings. But if you're Italian, you like figs, and
If you're Irish, you like raspberry.
we have raspberry here. And again, when it comes to the jams and the fillings, what you do is basically get your favorite jam. We have a lot of Smucker's products here. We have also this one that's called Bonne Maman, Good Mother. There, you can get that in the supermarket. And then my favorite, a little bit more expensive, and I brought them up from New York City, from West Side Market, are the Tiptree. From Tiptree, England, Wilkin and Son. And it's a very fine preserve. You do not use jellies, because the jellies, when they bake in the oven, they will become watery. The preserves of the jam have to set. Okay?
And that's a very important point, you guys. When we had our pre-meeting to discuss this, I misspoke and said jelly. And he gave me jug for a week.
Yeah, he got jumped for that. I said to Tim, what do you want to do, ruin my mother's cookies? We can't have that. But no, really, sometimes you think, well, I don't have any jam, let me use jelly. It's not going to really work. What happens is after they've baked for 20 minutes, they have to cool down completely. And then when they're completely cooled down, you're going to sprinkle them with the confectioner's sugar. So one thing that people wonder about the jam goes in before we bake it. It's not, I don't take the cookie, make the depression and bake it like a shell. I put the jam into the depression, into the little well, so to speak. And so Tim and I are just going to move a pace here. For me, the almond flavor is essential to this. It's a nice flavor to go with the jams. I don't know if too many people like cookies. Mostly vanilla flavor extract is what people use, but this one calls for almond. And again, as you can see, I have Tim helping me here. If you have children who are, you know, dexterous, they get into this part of, you know, making the round ball of dough and then the depression. And it'll just speed up your time.
Yeah, we're almost there.
Well, I had some extra time this afternoon, so I made some Russian tea cakes that I brought for our staff here to express my gratitude for all their preparation here for this event.
Maribeth, I'll bring one home to you. My wife's a big Russian tea cake.
Yeah. What I did with the Russian tea cakes, I added orange zest. I put in orange extract and chopped walnuts and the Nestle's mini morsels. So again, I took some liberties with the basic recipe for that. And we're coming down to the end of our dough. I have 13 here on my sheet. I don't know how you're doing, Tim.
I got 14.
Oh, you always have to try to upstage me.
Right, I was watching.
I picked that up from our first meeting.
I'm very competitive.
I said, boy, he's going to upstage me. Okay.
You doing minor?
Okay.
I got some big guys.
He's got some big ones. Okay.
I need to maintain this portly figure.
Yeah. All right. Okay. We're almost finished.
I got 15.
Okay. Can you fit anything else on yours? Or you?
I got one more.
Okay. You should try to space them nicely because remember, there's baking powder in here. I think I need your dough because baking powder is going to make the dough expand. So try to keep them 2 inches apart or thereabout if you can. All right. So here we are. We're all set. Now, I use these little soft-boiled egg spoons to spoon the jam into the cookie. So you have yours? Yes? Okay, so Tim is going to use fig. He'll do like 4 with fig, then he'll do 4 with peach, apricot, and with the orange. Okay? And I'm starting with blackberry. So you just take a little, and you just level it off into the depression. Don't put too much in because it'll ooze and make a mess. Always just take a little first, and then just kind of shimmy it out. And I'm filling these first ones with blackberry. Tim is being very, very good. He's washing off the flavor.
I don't want to contaminate the flavor.
You see, we're professionals here.
Right. You trained me well in 10 minutes before.
Okay, so now I'm going to do the same thing, and now switch to blueberry. Now I'm going to do 4 with blueberry. And again, this is something if you have kids at home, or husbands and wives can do this together. It's great. And
Really?
you know what's great? When you finish making them, you can, if you sample, all of them, decide which one you like the best. Okay, we finished with the blueberry. And now,
I got all the orange ones.
yes, sweet tip raspberry. This is the one from England. Wilkin and Sons from Tiptree. You can get either the smooth raspberry or the seedless. It's up to you what you prefer. Okay, now I'm very proud of the next one.
Well, I got a question. How many people know what fig tastes like?
But what?
Fig tastes like.
Well, they had fig
You
Newtons.
do?
You're Italian, you know what it tastes like.
No, I'm Irish. I know what.
Fig
I
Newtons.
know what Budweiser tastes like.
How about fig Newtons? You ever have fig Newtons?
Little.
Tim?
Yeah.
So this one I'm putting in now is called Little Scarlet. It's an expensive jam. Originally, the English came over here, they discovered this little petite strawberry, they liked it, and it is only in season for 3 weeks out of the year. It's called Little Scarlet. And then I'll finish off with the cherry. How are we doing there?
Fine, it's okay if I use my fingers, right?
Yeah, well, we won't tell them.
That's right.
People used to refer to these as thumbprint cookies, and my mother said, I never use my thumb. She did, she wanted stuff, she was very clean and so on. Okay,
I suggested we use our thumb, but I was COVID rejected.
yes. Okay, so now we're going to take these two and put them into the oven. One on the top shelf, one on the lower. What I like to do is I like to set a timer for 10 minutes, because at 10 minutes, we will switch places. We'll switch them and rotate the sheets. So they're baking now. This is 20 minutes starting now. So is someone setting the timer for 10? Good, thank you.
Yep. Okay, so we'll do that, and in the interim, you can go online and do the wine store. We've got some trivia. So you can win a number of things, and I'll point them out as we do the trivia. You go to the chat box on the bottom, you type it in. We have our operators here to take your answers, and the first one in is the winner. All right, in 2019, what was the final score of the MCQUAID'S football game that was played at Frontier Field? Final score. And what do you get? Car sticker. All right, you got a McQuaid sticker here. We're big spenders. So, little shout out here for Danny Mason, class of '85. He hooked us up. It was a great game. We gave him a couple easy ones right at the end that made the score a little closer. But I have a number of Aquinas friends, and they just said we kicked their butt, and we did. So the final score.
We have an entry of 23-21, which is incorrect.
Ooh.
We have an entry of 30-27, which is incorrect.
This is the football. This is Frontier Field game, not the sectional final. You're close, some of you guys. Yeah? 3, 2.
45-21.
No.
Unfortunately, it's incorrect as well. Correct answer is
27-21.
oh, Yolanda got it over very last minute. 27-21, Yolanda.
Yolanda, you're Googling, I know it. Okay, congratulations. Everybody's dying for one of these, and you got it. Okay, question 2, going into 2019, that year that we just talked about. How many years has it been since McQuaid beat Aquinas in football? You get a mask for that. We all should be embarrassed for how long this was. How long, what was their winning streak before we beat them in 19?
We have an entry for 41 years, which is incorrect. That was how many years it took us to win a sectional.
Sectional, very good, close.
We have an entry for 20.
Nope.
Incorrect. An entry for 18.
Nope.
27.
Nope. Lower. We're not that bad.
12.
Ooh, close. You were to go up.
14.
Woohoo.
13.
13 is the winner.
Okay.
Congratulations
Carrie
on
is the son.
your mask.
Carrie. Carrie got that one.
Who?
Carrie.
Oh, Carrie, congratulations. Now, you gotta be halfway to being an idiot if you don't get this one, because it's all over the communication. And what year did I graduate from McQuaid? And this is worthy of a sticker, a car sticker.
Debbie Spencer in 1967.
Our HR person got it. All right? And yes, that is 1967. I was with the kids on retreat, and they went, wait a minute, Nally, you were born in 1949? That's the math. All right, question 4. What was the name of McQuaid's most recent theater production? Get a McQuaid mask. It just finished up. We did it virtually, right? So who was paying attention? You know all your Aquinas football scores? Do you know your artsy stuff? 5.
An entry came in from My Fair Lady.
Nope, no My Fair Lady. I apologize if I'm looking over here. This is where the help is, and they're helping me.
Actually, Tim practically gave the answer away.
We have the winner with Annette, who said art.
There you go, art. Nice job, Annette. You get a mask. Okay, which varsity team has won the most Section 5 titles? Another car sticker. Which varsity team has won the most sectional titles?
We have an entry for baseball, volleyball, track and field,
Close.
cross country,
No.
chess,
No. Indoor track.
Indoor track.
basketball,
Oh, God.
football,
No. All right.
indoor track. All right.
Indoor track. Yeah, how did you get that?
Kate.
We have 15 sectional titles in indoor track.
Great.
And that was who?
Kate.
Kate. Congratulations. Okay, here's a good one. And I learned this one. I don't know if it's true. I'll ask Mullen. What does JUG stand for? JUG.
We have a couple of them flooding in. We have justice under God.
Justice under God is the common one. But
What are
apparently
you looking for?
the Latin term, and it means yoke, like you're being held back. Yoke. It's a Latin term. I just learned this, so I can't expect you guys to. Jugum, J-U-G-U-M. So whoever said justice under God, you're the winner. Who is it?
Okay, we had many. We had about 6.
Who's first?
The first one was Mark Anthony.
All right, Mark, congratulations. Justice under God. Spend any time there? Okay, how many co-curricular activities are currently active at McQuaid? Co-curricular. That's anything. That's sports, activities, clubs.
0.
0.
I hear 0 for COVID. Next one is 42.
Close. You get a McQuaid pin.
25.
More.
45.
Ooh, close. More.
47.
Am I allowed to give hints?
48.
Keep going.
49.
Keep going.
51.
51 is the winner. We have 51 co-curricular activities. Clubs.
Ed won that one.
Ed, nice job, Ed. You get a McQuaid lapel pin. All right, what year did the 7th graders come through the doors? What year did McQuaid open its doors to 7th graders? We're now 6 through 12, as most of you know. But when did the 7th graders show up?
1993.
Bingo!
Jackie.
Jackie, parent of a 7th grader. Really?
No, I don't think, no, Jackie was the winner.
Jackie, I lied. Okay, you get a phone wallet. Merry Christmas. All right, question 9. In addition to intellectually competent, what are the 4 other characteristics of a McQuaid grad? intellectually competent. Give a McQuaid lapel pin. This is a good one. You got to know this. Anybody?
Not yet.
Go to the website and look up
Made for
characters.
others in athletic.
Go to the website and look up under grad after grad. I boot it.
All right, I think we should move on.
Okay, loving, religious, open to growth, committed to justice. All of you didn't know that I have drugged for a week. Okay, in a typical year, how many retreats does the Office of Mission and Ministry offer? You get the wallet deal again. How many?
4.
Not even close. How many retreats?
12.
For the whole school. Keep
20.
going. Keep going.
12.
No.
10.
No.
30.
No.
20.
No.
120.
No.
25.
No. 2 dozen. Huh?
30.
25 is close, just high by 1.
Oh, okay. 24.
24 is a winner. Somebody can do math.
Kate.
Huh?
Kate.
Kate, nice job. 24 retreats.
She wants the hat.
Whoa. Asking. All right, you negotiate that with Whiting and McKen. Happy to give you a hat, Kate. Okay, question 11. We only got a couple more. If you walked, this is the good one. If you walked one way through the hallways, the gym, the cafeteria and field house, what distance would you have traveled? So you walk the hallways to the gym, to the cafeteria, to the field house. How much did you travel? Okay. All right. We're looking for a number in miles.
Quarter mile.
We're gonna start swapping the cookies here at the 10-minute mark. Is that what we're doing?
That's what Penny said.
Okay. When Penny says it, it's the real deal.
All right, I do have some entries whenever you're ready.
Okay, lay it on me.
I have quarter mile,
No.
half mile,
No.
1 mile,
No.
3/4 mile,
No.
1/3 mile,
Double that. No.
2 miles,
No.
Higher or lower?
It's lower.
1/8 of a mile,
No.
2/3.
Come on, think about walking. 2/3 is it? Yeah, 0.67. Thank you very
All
much.
right, Ed from the class of 90.
Ed from 90, nice job, Ed. You do that, you get a winter hat. Unless Kate stole it from you or whoever. Okay, question 12. Oh, what year did my boys graduate? I had 3 boys, Matt, Ben, and AJ. And they graduated in what years? I'll give you a clue. They were 4 years apart, all of them. So you just gotta guess math. And then do the math. Maribeth, you can't respond.
98, 02, 06.
Bingo.
Oh, wow.
Who,
Right.
who was that?
Debbie Spencer.
She's got insight.
Debbie Spencer is our HR person who is logged into our personnel records right now.
Debbie.
Now you get a winter hat unless we take it from you because you're cheap. Okay. Number 13, the last one. How many different colleges and universities did the class of 2020 enroll in for a hat? The class,
100.
no. Class of 2020, how many schools?
30.
No, low,
50.
higher,
45.
higher,
130.
lower.
65.
Ooh, close, low, or go higher.
66.
Ooh,
69.
what year did I graduate?
67.
There it is, we got a winner.
Yolanda.
Yolanda, you get it. Here we
Super
go.
excited. That's amazing.
That's it. You get a winter hat, unless you have 2. That's the trivia, guys. We just had to kill some time during the cooking, and we hope you enjoyed that. Picking up the stuff. Give us a call. We'll figure it out. And you get a hold of Heather. And another little plug for get on the auction and order some wine. And okay, shall we see how we're doing?
Yeah, so the real cookies that we made in front of you have about 3 or 4 more minutes. We have some that are prepared. They're already cooled down. We're going to take them out, and we're going to put the powdered sugar on.
See, this is first class operation. We have stuff done already in anticipation. Ooh,
So again,
those look good.
once you take them out of the oven, you transfer them to a cooling rack and make sure they cool down completely, because we're going to sprinkle a light snow, the powdered sugar on there, and then you can put them on a plate, however, when you're going to present them for dessert.
Go for it.
So here's what we do. Just sprinkle the powdered sugar on them. Okay? It gives it a nice winter snowy look.
And it's sugar.
And it's sugar. You don't want to do this unless they're completely cooled down, because what will happen is the powdered sugar will just melt and absorb right into the hot jam. Okay, so here we have the Christmas Dream Cookies.
Oh, slide them up.
Just going to tilt them a little bit. From my mother, Alice Roselli. We used to make them every year.
Thank you, Mrs.
And
Roselli.
we hope you enjoyed our session tonight, the entertainment, and
I
you
think
see
we have
how-
to test them.
yeah, we have to test
Yeah,
them.
for sure.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'll take this one here.
No COVID.
Okay. The cookie is a little soft, a little crumbly, but that's how it's supposed to be. You don't want it to be like a rock. Okay?
Delicious, folks.
Great with coffee, tea, whatever. And it's about, you get 4 or 5 nibbles out of this cookie.
So when they cool down and you put the sugar on, grab a gallon of milk, go sit on the couch and take care of all of them.
So Tim, what do you think of the almond extract in there?
The almond extract. I could taste it. My palate really related to it. It's cookies, man. They're great.
While
So,
you gentlemen are eating, just a plug that if you won a prize, you will be contacted by the advancement office next week, and we will determine how you can pick up the items. Thank you for participating.
okay, guys, if you didn't hear that, we'll contact you and you can make arrangements to pick up your stuff. And again, I first of all want to thank Father Roselli. He did an awesome job. These are great cookies.
Tim, we made a great team. We look forward to teaming up again sometime.
Exactly, and I'm looking forward to eating the cookies. So again, thanks for showing up, and we hope you have a great holiday. And on behalf of the whole McQuaid community, Merry Christmas. You go online for the wine auction here. Thanks very much. Have a great night.
Thank you. Good evening.